Hello and welcome back to another WhiskAYE podcast. WhiskAYE podcast number 48. Running in on that, half century. This one, as always, is what I say always. As almost always, is on a Dram Team box. This would be the Dram Team box from, I think, April 2023. And the theme of the box is Secrets of Scotch. The title card says, from anonymous flavour-based bottlings to little-known new distilleries and one-of-a-kind nomad distilled releases, this selection of scotches aims to show that your next favourite scotch isn't always the one you know the best. After all, and don't tell the kids, but strangers are just friends you haven't met. Enjoy getting to know this fine bunch of future friends, Scotch fans.
I like the idea of like a nomad distillery is like some guy who's got like a still in his car or a barrel in his car and he just nicks a bunch from some distillery and then drives. Can't catch him. Like at the end of he goes on a whiskey tour and he's like, oh yeah, could I have a taster? Could I have another taster?
Yeah.
Could I have another taster?
I was thinking of someone with a still in the back of a van. Just driving about.
Like sweating cobs everywhere he goes, just terrified.
Yeah.
On the inch of exploding at all times.
Yeah. Really, really, really trying hard to avoid cobbles.
Why didn't I put a lid on it?
Okay. So up first we have King's Inch single malt, just a Glasgow single malt. So using a recipe and method devised by two highly acclaimed whiskey makers, industry legend Jim Swan and experimental distiller Jack Mayo, King's Inch is not an independent bottling, nor a distillery release, but is nomad distilled at an unnamed young Glasgow distillery, made borrowing their equipment. That makes this flagship release a real unicorn. It's interesting. So basically, they do just rock up and use someone else's gear.
Stole the stills, replaced them with something so they didn't notice for a while, however long it takes to do a run.
About a day.
Yeah.
If they've already got the, if they're just using the still, a lot longer if they're wanting to use the.
Got to distract them for 3 years.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking just like, if they want to use their washbacks and stuff, but yeah, if they want to use their warehousing as well, that might.
One of them just started dancing in the lobby, and they were all like, "Wow, this is great."
Like 24 hours later, he's like, "I don't know if I'm going to be able to keep this one up for another 3 years."
How many days are left?
Just over 1,000.
Yeah. That's that. Futurama bit with Bender in it.
Yeah.
When he's distracted, everyone look here, hey, and then when he's done distraction, I'm tired now, everyone look away.
Yeah. Exactly 3 years to the day after it's been distilled.
Yeah, Bod, now go away.
Yeah. So on the nose, you should be getting fresh green apple, softening to verdant barley, sweet vanilla, and caramelized sugar.
There is caramelized sugar and kind of a barliness to it. I'll give it that. I'm not sure about the apple.
I get something appley. It's almost wine, like a white wine.
Okay, yeah. Barley, caramelized sugar.
I guess that would be more. Oh no, that was really. I got like an apple skin sort of.
Oh yeah, apple skin. And on nose. Right.
Okay, and
kick off our exploration.
On the palate, subtle citrus, green apple, and hints of pineapple are quickly joined by rich espresso coffee, molasses, and notes of chocolate powder. The finish is long and warming, with rich buttered toffee, black pepper, and sweet spice notes of clove, cinnamon, and ginger.
That's a cracker. That's lovely. It's quite spicy. Yeah, so it is sweet-ish to begin with. I'm not sure about the coffee, but I think it's like it deepens. Maybe that's what they're getting at. It really does deepen. You get that molasses, like dark sugar, kind of muscovado kind of sugar, And then I suppose the chocolate powder is kind of the cocoa-ness, which I could get. Yeah, I could say.
Mm.
And yeah, buttered
Lots of
toffee.
clove, cinnamon, and ginger in the finish for sure.
Yeah. That's lovely.
Yeah, it has like a little bit sort of. It's kind of Christmassy, but not like Christmas cakey.
Yeah. I think it's the spices.
Yeah.
We're gonna say, fruity sweet. Brown sugar. Cocoa. Ginger. Cloves. And cinnamon. Kind of makes me think of a bit of a Glen Scotia kind of taste.
Mm.
It
does
caramel.
have a little bit. It's like without the salt.
Yeah, it's not as heavy on the salt, but I think there's a bit of it there.
Oh, if it's from a Glasgow distillery, that's probably salt from the Clyde, so you might want to avoid that.
I don't think I want salt from whatever the body of water Campbelltown's near either, to be honest.
Technically, also the Clyde.
Is it the Clyde that flows down the side of the?
Well, it's in the estuary.
Yeah, I suppose the Kintyre Peninsula is one side of the estuary, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, it's a long estuary.
I mean, there's a lot of sea locks on that side. I would call it the Clyde at Greenock. I probably wouldn't call it the Clyde at the Kintyre Peninsula. I'd probably name the lock.
Yeah.
Like Helensburgh is like on
that Loch Long?
The Gale Lock, I think.
Gale Lock.
Loch Long being the next one over.
Yeah.
But yeah, so.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Even though they are not enclosed locks like inland locks, but yeah.
Yeah, but they're not the sea, they're not a river. They've got to be something.
Yeah.
I like that one. I like that one a lot.
It's very nice, yeah.
That bodes well for his next one.
For what is a no age statement, just Glasgow single malt.
And entry level.
Yeah. Like, what is this? It is single malt Scotch. All right.
Yeah, this is our kind of family friendly. Do you know why it's called the King's Inch, by the way?
No.
I was looking at the thing because I was interested by the name. So I was looking at the website. So an inch used to be measured by 3 barley corns end to end. And that was called
I've heard that,
inch.
yeah.
I'd never heard that. So
I'd heard about how they used to measure what the basis for an inch was. And it works its way around to like, there's something else which is about half the size of a barley corn, which is another named measurement. Because a barley corn used to be also a measurement. Because it was a third of an inch.
Yeah.
It was a reel, or probably a TikTok that had been made into a reel that had been made into a Facebook video and then uploaded to YouTube. You know what I mean? Like,
longest measurement is a podcast.
Yeah, but it was like it was like how they come up with all of the. It was a jokey video about how they came up with all of the imperial measurements, and it went from like a foot not being the size of a foot, but it being 12 inches. And then I'm saying, could it not be 10? And he's like, no, it's 12 inches, but don't worry. You can know how long an inch is because it's 3 barley corns. And he was like, well, barley corns aren't all the same size. And he's like, don't worry about that.
There is a bit more drama to imperial measurements.
Yeah, especially when
certainly less useful, but
especially considering some of them like they literally are all just based off of here is one, and we measure it off of the one that we have decided when we decide to standardize.
Keep this as a master measurement forever.
Yeah. Whereas like I'm pretty sure almost every metric measurement can now be traced back to the speed of light in a vacuum.
Probably, yeah.
So obviously, like distance can be done from that.
Universal constant and all that.
Yeah, but I think the hardest one is mass, because
what is it like? How
to do with.
An object of mass that moves a certain distance in a certain.
I guess to do with energy, you have to go through it. I think they did it, but it's very convoluted. Like,
Right. Fair.
yeah, you have to get the distance measurements, and then do some things to do with energy, like conversion of mass to energy. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Did you want to score this one, by the way?
Yes. I think that was good. I would say that's probably a strong 3 or a weak 3.5.
Oh. Yeah, I was going to go with 4. I really like that.
I'll give it the 3.5. Be generous. Start the box. I was giving myself room by.
Yeah, I think you've done a bit of LFE there.
Yeah.
And I have not. I've just gone like, no, I'm just going to do the same mistake every time. Give the people what they know, you know.
Yeah, they're all 4s.
Yeah,
I can't really rate that less than the
whiskey
last
is
one.
just a 4 and above.
But yeah, I don't.
If it's a 3, it's gin.
If it's less than that, it's a bad vodka.
If it's like a 1, it's a sherry.
Yeah. Actually, to be fair, I had brandy recently. It's pretty good.
I've never had brandy. I think I prefer it to sherry. And port is god awful as well. What was the one we had at
I don't mind. Madeira.
Madeira. That was awful.
It's too sweet.
Yeah, way too sweet.
It's like fermented honey, but not the good way that like mead is for tastes.
Yeah. No, mead is a lot nicer than that. Right. Should I introduce this to number 2?
You should, yes.
So we're sticking with the King's Inch.
Yeah.
And this is slightly, a much fancier bottling, I'd suggest. It is a single cask sherry edition. The card reads, following on from the core release of King's Inch, which is obviously what we just drank, we have this very special and rather limited, only 586 bottles, single cask edition, aged for 7 years exclusively in an Oloroso sherry butt and bottled at full cask strength. This is a celebratory bottling, marking the 1-year anniversary of the launch of the brand and its flagship release. I had to take a second there. You know, like when you're gonna like step off a ledge or whatever, and you take a couple of little short steps.
Yeah.
I had to do that for celebratory then, like verbally, just like line myself up.
Yeah.
I would just like to point out to any listeners that I was at the pub before this. Now I didn't have a many. I had 1/2.
But it was a strong half. Yeah.
So just in case I
to
seem
be fair,
less cogent than normal.
This is possibly the best box for you to have had extra alcohol before, because outside of this, they're all, there's nothing above 50% apart from this one.
Yeah, that last box we had would have killed me.
Yeah, I have noticed though that there seems to have been a bit of a trend. You know how we said that they've stopped doing 40 and they started doing 43 to be more
46 is the new one, isn't it?
Go to 46. At some point, they're just going to all be cash dram. Oh yeah, no, we don't add, we don't filter any. We just take it.
Is your entry level 60% there? Oh, you do 60. Yeah. We do 63.
Yeah.
Not this again. Right. So on the nose, it says anticipate. I don't know if you can smell the anticipation, but anticipate macerated dark fruits with cream.
Yes.
Oh.
This smells like raisins, and, dates, and sultanas,
like stewed,
mashed, and then cream added up. It's like a spotted dick. Yeah, all of the fruit out of a Christmas cake, then with a big pour of heavy cream.
Yeah. All right. If it tastes as good as it smells, it's going to be lovely. So you should get warm, wintry spices with crunchy demerara sugar on the palate. A long finish carries the same rich sweetness. Is it decadent?
It's quite meaty in terms of not flavor, but substance.
Yeah, that's chewy. It's definitely a sherry bomb.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that finish is
lovely. I know that the demerara is crunchy, but
maybe you just meant because it's chewy.
Yeah.
That's got a lovely finish. It's like climbing in between my shoulder blades and burying itself there.
I get what I mean with the Demerara. It's almost treacly in the palate. Like it's a little bit past caramel.
Yeah, it's a little bit darker.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I could go with, I think treacle's a good shout.
But it does hold.
Yeah, well, it's cask strength, I suppose.
Mouth watering. I used to hate treacle when I was a kid because it was slightly bitter.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Like I was all about that. You know, if you had Tate and Lyle tins, I wanted the green one, not the red one.
Yeah, I don't even remember the red one, to be honest, but I remember.
That's a treacle tin, I think.
What's the green one?
Golden syrup.
That's probably what I'm thinking of, yeah. You used to do like syrup sponge and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's good stuff.
It was.
All of it is. Yeah, I don't eat anywhere near as much cake in that as I used to growing up.
No, because we're adults who don't have that kind of a metabolism.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
Talking to someone like that I work with, he works up your way up Rosyth.
Yeah. And
he come down to visit, and he's just a little bit younger than us, like just 30, early 30s. Doxing myself. And he was like, "Have you noticed that you have to work hard? It's not put weight on." It's like, yeah. Yes.
A guy at my gym, he's just turned like 25, I think, but he's like actually a competing athlete in MMA. He's only amateur, but he has to make weight, and he's like, "See, since I turned 25, this has become much harder." Because he's like, "When I used to just like 2 days before stop eating and I just lose the weight. Now it's like I have to do a prolonged period of like a week and a half of like dieting, and then like drink loads of water a week before, and then slowly filter out drinking water until I don't have any, because that's how you strip your water weight and all this stuff." And I was like, yeah, welcome. Wait, 5 more years and then come back.
Wait till you're an old man in your 30s. It all.
Now you know why all the old men end up in the heavyweight division.
Yeah, it's like, no, I'm not doing this.
Yeah, I'll just keep eating, thanks.
Yeah. I mean, I'm bulking.
Yeah.
Till death.
It is the reason that we don't eat is because if we wanted to be able to eat as much cake as we did before, we wouldn't have any time to eat as much cake as we did before, because we'd be constantly in the gym.
Or just being sick.
Yeah, well, I forgot about that option. Maybe I'll pursue that path.
It's terrible, because the thing is, like, when I do eat something like super rich or whatever, like I get like one of those cheesecakes from the shop around the corner or whatever, it makes me feel ill.
I've managed to get round it. I'm in a position now where I can do it, but I can't repeatedly do it.
Yeah.
So I can go all out once. I can just I can let go of my inhibitions, but I do understand. Like, I used to get heartburn a lot, but I don't know. I think
I had I went to the cafe in the park. I think I went for lunch last weekend, and I got like a grilled cheese, and then I got a blondie. It's like a jammy Dodger blondie. It's a big piece, and I had the grilled cheese, and then I was like, I'll have the blondie later, and then I had it like 2 minutes later.
That's a lot of carbs, yeah.
I was just sat there being like, that was a mistake. It was great while I was eating it.
That's a lot of fat, to be fair. Grilled cheese, and then blondies aren't exactly light on the fat.
Yeah. So I was just like, should we score this one anyway rather than...
Yeah, I've still got one little sip left.
Oh, yes.
I will just score it, and then I'll finish.
No, go for it. Go for it. I'll tell you what I've put while you have it. So I've put stewed dark fruits with cream on the nose. Treacle dominates the sherry bomb flavours with a beautiful, long, warming finish. That is what I have put.
Yep, I would agree.
So I'm going to go in for the score on this one. It's got to be a 4.5 for me.
I would probably give this a 4.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm being harsh, but I also feel like I'm not. So
I ain't got much space to go if one's better.
No, but
so I'll have to revisit my scores if they're better.
Yeah,
there's only one I suspect might be better.
Maybe, yeah. There's one that I think might be better. It's coming up.
Yeah.
But just before we move on from the concept of blondies, there's a place in Denniston in Glasgow called Full Circle Bake. So that's a free shout out. If they want to give us a sponsorship, I would take that. I'll forgo losing weight. But it's like east of Glasgow, so it's a trip for us. But they've got a nice park in Denniston, so sometimes we take Bear on like a weekend morning. They're only open, I think, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and they just sell their stock until they're sold out. But they're basically a bakery that does finish at home cookies that have like a chocolate center.
Sounds pretty great.
You put them in your oven and it melts. And they do blondies and brownies, but the blondies and brownies are usually on a 3 for a certain. I can't remember what the price is, but you know, if you buy 2, you might as well get the third because it's like an extra £1.
Yeah.
But that obviously causes a problem because first of all, that means that we have to have 1.5 brownies / blondies, which is too much for a morning.
Yeah.
And second of all, it means that there has to be a negotiation about what the third flavour is going to be.
Yeah.
But,
yeah.
Usually I go for the birthday cake blondie or they have a Biscoff stroopwafel blondie, which is literal decadence. But yeah.
Well, next time you visit here, we'll
we'll get 3 and then you can split it. Next time you visit me, we can get 3. And
we'll go to the market near here. Newport Market has got like that Welsh cake place, which is amazing. And then it's got Who Cult donuts, which are meant to be very, very good, I've heard. So
you think
and a bunch of other stuff.
In the Tantrum space?
Maybe.
Tantrum had to close because of the Cycling World Championships, and then the council said sorry and reopened the pavement. That's pretty funny.
Yeah, we'll try that. And there's also a cheesecake place there as well, so we could get properly fat if we want.
Yeah. Who needs actual meals? Let's just have dessert.
Yeah. Well,
and then go to the pub.
The 4 craft pubs in Newport are basically dotted around it.
Yeah.
So you could just do like 4 halves.
Yeah.
Get a donut, do 4 more halves.
Yeah.
Get a cheesecake, get 4 more halves, look around over your shoulder, wonder where your friends have gone. Why aren't you in Newport anymore? Why are you in Cardiff? Who's in the river?
Just looks like we're having a night out.
Yeah. Do you want to take us away from King's Inch?
I will. I have to bring you back down to earth.
Yes.
Because
into the earth even.
Lockley Ploughing Edition, very good.
Yeah.
It says, well, this is Lockley, so they're quite exclusive, I think. And it says here, we continue to do very well at getting our hands on Lockley's extremely elusive stock. In this case, the 4th and final release in their annual series of limited seasonal bottlings. Blottled. The Ploughing Edition reflects the winter season on the farm, when ploughing begins ahead of sowing barley in the spring. This is their first ever smoky whiskey, with the gentle peat influence introduced by maturation in barrels that previously held Islay malts. So on the nose, baked fruit with a light peat smoke. How light would you call that?
I call it medium.
Yeah. I think it's more than a Benramac.
Yeah. Baked fruit, fine. I can still get other flavours, which is how I know it's not a heavy peat.
But also, usually when it's been aged in an ex-Islay malt, it doesn't come through as much of a punch in the flavour because it's obviously only been imparted by the barrel rather than literally in the core ingredients.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
I'll tell you.
Hit the palate, which is old-fashioned boiled sweets, more cooked apple.
Did you just sing old-fashioned then?
No.
You sound like you went old-fashioned.
I didn't mean to.
You're doing like a Swedish chef accent.
Old-fashioned boiled sweets, more cooked apple and Brazil nuts, with a finish that has lingering fruit and nuttiness, all intertwined with a haze of Islay peat smoke. So
the taste is not particularly peaty. I'd say nutty. The finish, quite peaty, but of a pleasant peat variety. It's earthy peat, campfire peat. Maybe like a Lagavulin kind of peat.
It's
Not-
actually
Not an Ardbeg.
a little bit meaty.
Yeah.
Like, on the peat. Yeah. Campfire, like barbecued.
Yeah, it's not cured meats. It's more like barbecued.
Not like tire fired.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I get what they mean with the old fashioned boiled sweets. Like there's a sweetness there, but it's like before we knew how to really exploit sugar, you know?
Oh, when sugar was expensive.
Yeah. That's probably more to the point, isn't it?
Mm.
Nowadays we can probably extract sugar. We can probably buy lactose. Just like, but yeah. I get what you mean with nuttiness. I'd say it's kind of earthy, but like
Yeah, that's what I kind of think. I think they're like the same kind of flavor profile.
woody,
Nuttiness,
nutty,
earthiness.
earthy, yeah.
That's when you get into that kind of leveriness and stuff as well. Like you say, woodiness. Yeah. It's not. That's not unpleasant.
Mm-mm. It's quite.
It's actually quite nice to come to that from the 58%er.
Yeah.
Because it's very mild for 46%er.
Yeah, the smoke is quite subtle.
Yeah, it's quite light.
Like I'd say it smells smokier than it tastes. Definitely in the palate. The finish is quite smoky, but on the second pass, when your mouth's already got that coating of the smoke, it doesn't come through as much.
It just hits me in like the top middle palate of the smoke every time.
Mm.
But yeah, it's a nice contrast to go from that, like, cast strength sherry bomb to this.
Yeah,
it's a big jump.
It's a massive, like from a big, strong, mouth drying, mouth watering sherry bomb into light,
quite
smoky.
Light. Yeah.
It's a contrast, but
it is.
To my mind, actually probably improves this whiskey.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think it has. Just because you go to that lightness.
It's almost like a Glen Granty kind of style of whiskey that's just been put into. Not quite. It's got a more rounded. But I meant the lightness that like it feels quite light.
Well, you could tell by the colour, couldn't you, as well?
Yeah.
And so let me know when you finish that one, and we can go up. You finished it?
Yep.
What do you want to give it?
I'll give that one a 3.5, I think.
I'm going to go a 3, I think.
That's fair. I knew he wasn't going to get a great score from you. Even if it's a good peated one, it's still...
It's still going to be a 3 something.
The best of my least favourite.
Yeah, I still assert that peat doesn't add anything to whiskey. Like, that would be better without the peat. I'm not saying that it's awful, but I think the peat deducts from it rather than adds to it. And that's just because I don't like those kind of flavours. That's all. It's no like objective criticism.
I don't know. I don't really think
I don't enjoy.
I don't think there is such a thing as objective criticism. If it's subjective, it's wrong. So
yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think for me, it's just I don't like smoky flavors. Don't like smoked bacon particularly.
I mean, if it's objective, it's wrong. If it's subjective, it's criticism. If it's objective, yeah. You get what I meant.
I was with you. We've gone through 3 decently strong whiskies in half an hour. You're all right to mix up subjective and objective. You're getting yourself blottled, aren't you?
Blottled.
It's Glasgow pastime, isn't it, to blottle people?
Oh yeah, that's when you get. Usually not with whiskey bottles, though.
Well, it's the difference between like that's your marksman, or your heavy weapons guy.
Yeah.
Your normal people carry beer bottles because then they can carry lots of ammo, but then you have your heavy.
Your heavy weapons guy carries the tonic wine bottle.
He just stands there like with it over his shoulder, then someone else places it into his hands.
You know those monks at Buckfast Abbey know who their target audience is when they started doing it in plastic bottles for the half bottle.
I just like the idea of someone stood there with like miming an RPG, and then someone else reloads a tonic wine bottle into their hands. Do you want me to move on to the next one?
Yeah, we can move on. I'm very excited for this. So
I am. Yeah. So this is one kind of from a brand. I don't know if you've been aware of it. I think we've discussed it previous. But if you're
the most famous of the brand is the one we're about to drink after this.
Yes, if you're familiar with Master of Malt, though, you've probably got an email about this at some point. It's like their brand of kind of very stripped back branding style. I guess, have you ever seen those Canadian products where it's literally just like yellow and black and it just says the name of what the actual product is?
Yeah, I've seen that.
It's like that.
A D-brand or something.
Yeah. So it's like that. And they've got a bunch of different ones. We're going to try two of them now if I ever stop the preamble. So this one is fruitcake and dark chocolate and medjool dates and cinnamon.
Well,
so I think
it's and taste
whiskey or ampersand whiskey. And the branding and the labels of the bottles are really stripped back, really basic, but they get good reviews. And there's some, I mean, if you're listening to this, if somehow I've uploaded this at any kind of contemporary state, Master Malt have got a 30-year-old cask strength blended grain one for like 80 quid, which is ridiculous.
What are the ampersands on the green one?
You asked me that now. Let me have a look. I think if I type in and whiskey, it comes up. So the and whiskey ones, you've got this one. You've got the Isla one, which I'll not give away because obviously we might be having that next. It is butterscotch and vanilla and toast and a generation and cask strength.
Oh.
So take and cask strength off. That's 80 quid. If you take the and cask strength off, you've got a 30-year-old blended grain that's not cask strength, £65. That's butterscotch and vanilla and toast and a generation. There's this one that we're having, but and cask strength.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, no, sorry. It's Christmas cake and dark chocolate and medjool dates and cinnamon, which is what we've got, and sherry casks and cask strength.
Yeah.
There is a butterscotch and vanilla and toast and a generation 45-year-old.
45 years old.
£250, 45-year-old whiskey.
That has to basically be a single cask.
It's madness, isn't it?
Because I can't imagine that you've managed to get two casks.
Yeah.
Of that age that meet a flavour profile.
Yeah.
You know
and then you've got charcoal and cornmeal and rickhouses and which is a 10-year-old bourbon. And then there is oak and palomino and oxidation and sitting 8-year-old, which is a sherried Speyside.
Okay. Well, hopefully we'll get to try most of them.
Yeah, I hope so.
Our journey.
So yes, sorry, this one is fruitcake and dark chocolate and medjool dates and cinnamon 8-year-old. And the card reads, an anonymous release from prolific whiskey sellers Master of Malt, aiming to replicate styles of whiskey most popular with their customers. As the name suggests, this expression aims to satisfy fans of rich Speysiders and packs a real wallop of Christmas flavours. Well, we are fans of rich Speysiders.
Yeah, this could easily, if it wasn't that price, be our go-to.
For this one, €8.
Oh, this one isn't bad, is it? No, that's the grain that's...
This one's 42.
This is definitely within the price range to become a go-to.
Yeah.
Okay.
The 12-year-old is 60. And that's the cask strength
12 years.
That's the cask strength version. I don't know if there's any others. Oh, there is a roasting chestnuts and peat fire embers and mince pies and Hygge, Hygge.
Hygge.
Yeah. There's a few, but like it says, it's Master of Malt's way of trying to replicate flavor profiles rather than Because whiskey is
Distilleries.
about the flavour, but it's also about the distillery and the age and all that stuff, isn't it?
Yeah.
They've taken all that back and just been like, you like this flavour, so we're going to make this flavour and show that the branding has got nothing to do with it.
Mhm.
Oh, we'll see if it does. So on the nose, dried fruit soaked in sherry, ginger snaps, candy butter, clove, malty vanilla lingering underneath. It's a lot of notes for a nose.
I can get the sort of brandy bar.
I was thinking
Also,
the brandy butter.
Maybe more like, maybe not ginger snaps, but like brandy snaps as well. Like
I was thinking them as well.
there's
See,
a kind of
this is how I do a tasting notes. I just wait for you to say something and say, I was thinking that.
yeah, there's like a biscuitiness to it. I think is the thing, and the brandy,
There's a boozy sweetness to
the
it,
boozy sweetness. Yeah, that's the words.
but it is boozy.
I guess malty vanilla is biscuit though, right? Like let's be honest, that's what.
Yeah, fair.
Um,
Right, off you go then. Palate. A big helping of orange as it arrives on the palate, soon joined by dark chocolate shavings, golden syrup, cinnamon sticks, dried cherry, dates, and shortbread. The eponymous fruitcake notes hang around for a good while afterwards, with hints of citrus oil and chocolate mousse.
It is very moussey on the finish. Like I could argue the finish is like a dark chocolate orange mousse, which is a very Christmassy kind of mousse, if you ask me. But
yeah, it's quite dry, isn't it?
Yeah, I didn't get the orange at the front, but in the back end, it's very citrus.
Yeah,
but not
I'd
like
agree.
sharp. Like it's citrus flavors, but I guess that's why it's like citrus oil. It's like warm citrus, like a hot lemon or.
I can kind of get the dark chocolate. There's kind of a bitterness to it almost.
Yeah.
But yeah, the warm citrus is. I quite like how you described that, because if you think of citrus, you don't think of it being warm, do you?
No, but you know when you get like a hot lemon when you've got a cold, it's not bitter anymore. The sweetness comes through more, but it still has the bitterness in there, but the sweetness comes through over the top rather than in the back.
Yeah, you lose some of the sharpness.
That's very good. This might make its way onto my booze trolley.
Wow. I'm glad, because obviously I've got my eye on one of the others.
Mm-hmm.
Mainly the one that I introduced at the start, the £80 30-year-old blended grain.
Yeah.
I do like me a grain whiskey. So if it's a good brand and it's accurate to its tasted notes, then tempting.
I mean, the fact that they just slap the tasting notes on the front it's got to be a helpful thing to buy, you know.
I mean, we've got fruitcake and we've got dark chocolate. I don't know what Medjool dates taste like. There's some cinnamon spice to it though as well. So 3 out of 4 is not bad. I
guess dates are kind of fruity, whether or not I'd put them in the bracket of citrus. But then once you lead your brain to think about something, how much of it is actually, psychosomatic.
Yeah. It's dark fruits again. It's Christmas cake flavors. It's Christian orange.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's a thing apparently.
It's not a thing here, but it's got to be a thing somewhere. I don't know.
Do you see that news story? The most American news stories today.
No.
That woman who got attacked by a snake and a hawk in the same attack. So a hawk apparently carrying a snake.
Like Arizona.
Somewhere like that. Yeah, this hawk had apparently attacked the snake and was carrying it off to eat it for lunch. Dropped the snake on her. Landed on her arm.
Hold on a minute.
Wrapped itself around arm. Snake starts like spitting at her. The hawk starts flying in and scratching her, or really badly cutting her, apparently trying to get this snake.
Yeah, they've got very sharp talons.
Yeah, that bit's not so funny. But the funny bit is that basically she was running around shouting, "Help me, Jesus!" Because that's obviously what you do. You know, Jesus is going to personally intercede.
He's the one.
Yeah.
To be fair, he's got a history of dislike of snakes. So.
He doesn't like snakes. That's true. And then
And I mean, he's the most American you can be, so he loves hawks.
he is the first
Eagle.
American, first white American.
Yeah.
And then yeah, then it was like, and then the husband heard the shouting, and so rode round on his lawnmower. So it's like he didn't sprint round, he didn't like leg it round. He rode.
He got his
rode
5
round.
miles an hour lawnmower.
Yeah, hear your wife screaming, be like, "I'm on my way." It was just very American. The only way it could have been more American is if he shot her.
Yeah, to try to shoot the snake off.
Yeah, yeah. So it was just, I like that like the American response to a fairly distressing incident is just to run around shouting for Jesus.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know, that's manifest destiny for you.
And then she was saying, she went to the hospital and they found out she hadn't been bitten by the snake, so she was okay, kind of thing.
Okay.
The hawk got the snake in the end, by the way. And she was saying, "Oh yeah, I think it's divine intervention that I was saved." And it's like, I think God was trying to kill you if He sends a snake and a hawk to attack you at the same time.
Yeah, and makes your husband take his time.
Yeah, I feel like at that point, God was trying to kill you.
Yeah, you got lucky.
Did you want to score that one then?
Yeah, I think I'll give that enough. It's a strong 4.
I think a 4 is a good shout now. Let me just record the timings.
Sure, you're not going to get a 4 on the next one, but we'll see.
Maybe we should
Never
call
know.
it here. You know, it's been a good day. I'm getting a bit tired.
This is the gatekeeper for the one that we really want.
Yeah, but you know, it's been a good day. I've been a bit tired, and if this one got damaged and leaked, that'd be a shame. But it won't be the end of the world. And maybe I'll. Oh, my headset is breaking up. Do you drink it without me, and I'll have it, and then I'll text you what I felt.
Yeah. Okay, it's this one. Look, we had a good time on Isla.
We did have a good time on Isla.
So just try and invoke
even
that.
if it was very like, no offense to anyone from Isla, but there was some strong Deliverance vibes.
Oh, there was a real lack of ability to get a taxi anywhere. That was fun.
That was the thing. It wasn't. The people were all fantastic, really lovely, really friendly, really great. The distilleries were amazing. The scenery was like top notch, second to none. Some of the most beautiful places I've ever seen in my life. Everything was perfect. But then as soon as you tried to like get a taxi or get a takeaway or even the slightest convenience, and I'm not expecting like, you know, Uber Eats to deliver me like a Moroccan like tagine.
Yeah, we're not after wild choice. We just wanted something to deliver.
A pizza that delivers, a fish and chips that delivers, something.
Literally any delivery.
A restaurant that's open.
Yeah. Within a taxi.
Or a hotel restaurant that lets non-guests eat there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No such luck.
But then Speyside is as bad when we've been up there, but on off season.
It has been on off season, yeah.
Especially on a Monday.
When everything's shut.
Yeah, and no one knows why.
A dust-time Sunday. It's called Monday.
Go on then.
Okay. We're on to the ampersand. I've spread that one out far too. The ampersand for Isla. This is I think the most famous of this batch, I would say, which is seaweed and aeons and digging and fire. So, a second mysterious, designed to type, flavor-driven release by Master of Malt. This time targeting fans of smoky malts with lots of complementary flavors besides. While we have tasted seaweed once or twice, we couldn't tell you what aeons, digging, or fire tastes like. Only that they are very necessary to produce peat and peaty whiskey. So we'll roll with it. I actually have only tried seaweed in what the Chinese restaurants serve, which is actually just cabbage, right? Yeah. So
I've had seaweed.
Actual seaweed.
Actual seaweed, yeah. Tastes like you'd expect. It's very
salty.
No, it's more. It tastes like heathery, but oceany heather, I guess.
I guess I can see what that would mean, yeah. Oh, I forgot to mention this is the seaweed and aeons and digging and fire 10-year-old. I don't know if there are different age statements of it, but
Probably. I think I closed it down. Sorry. But no, I've
doesn't
still
matter.
got it. Let me have a look. They do have a seaweed and aeons and Christmas cake and cinnamon.
That'll be more it'll either be the rare sherry finished Islas, or it'll be the rare peated Space Eggs, won't it? It'll be one or the other.
It could be worse. It could be seaweed and aeons and maple syrup and toasted oats. Maple syrup is rank. Sorry to us Canadian friends, but it is terrible. It is really bad.
Okay.
Yeah, there's an 18-year-old.
All right, so that's why it has got the age on there. I mean, I suppose if you're going to just only use 10-year-olds or older, you might as well put 10 years old on it. It helps you sell more.
This is the point of grain whiskey versus malt whiskey.
What?
The 18-year-old is more expensive than a 30-year-old blended grain. Just saying, I'm not saying that grain is better than malt in any way, but I am saying that it's, in my experience, it's not worse.
And it's cheaper.
It's different. It's significantly cheaper.
I suppose that's because it just doesn't have the branding.
Yeah, single malt is a brand name. I agree, Ben. It's ridiculous.
Significantly disagrees. He says no. I came here all the way from Romania. Single malt is the way to be.
Well, he's Scottish by adoption, isn't he? So
yeah. Anyway, I'll tell you what the nose is, and then I might have to mute.
Yep.
Okay, so the nose is rich, powerful sherry with a well-integrated core of peat. Solid. That's what it is.
Yep. Okay. No.
It's peaty, but there is. It's not like.
It's not medicinal peat, at least.
It's not a punch in the face of peat, I wouldn't say.
It's just a constant.
It's there. I'd say it's more background peat here, though.
I think it's constant foreground peat. I'm hunting for other stuff under it, like a truffle peat.
Oh no, I don't think you can get any. I think it's. What I mean is, it's not like someone has started burning heather under your nose.
No, it's not. It's not the peatiest nose I've ever.
But it is that you are in Isla during malting.
Yeah. I imagine I wouldn't like to visit there during maltings. I'd definitely go back though.
Yeah, we've still got some distilleries to visit, so.
Yeah, if the option presents itself, which I'm sure it will at some point.
Once we're millionaires off the back of this podcast, we can.
Yeah, if you just start subscribing.
Yeah. If we just start uploading it to actual podcast platforms, that might help.
Yeah, that's what's stopping us. Yeah, it's not the content; it's the load destination. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, the ferries when they run are pretty good.
Yeah,
quite enjoyed the ferries, especially the one out there. That was quite a fancy one.
Yeah, we got the one with the chandeliers.
Aye.
So on the palate, we're going to stop stalling and just dive in here.
I had to try.
Yeah.
Here I go.
Well balanced, but extremely forceful on delivery. The sherry makes itself known in a really good way. And then the finish is red apple sweetness, which gives way to oak and vanilla goodness and fades elegantly into the embers of a char-grilled, well-aged steak.
You were laughing.
Like
you were laughing while you said forcefully then. I could feel from here the enjoyment you got from saying that, because you knew what that meant. And you could picture my face as it folded in upon itself.
It says that the sherry taste makes itself known in a really good way. That sentence, by the way, no offense to whoever wrote this card, but the sherry makes itself known in a really good way sounds like something Donald Trump would say. But his vocabulary doesn't have a way to say really good that isn't really good.
Yeah. Just needs like sad at the end. I'm trying to be objective. Oh, not objective. I'm trying to be fair. It's not hugely peated. At the beginning, there are other flavors. The peat does come through quite forcefully. It dominates the finish, I would suggest. I wouldn't call it elegant. I would call it a buy 'em out boys situation.
Definitely buy them out, boys.
Yeah.
I was about to say that I would say that this well-aged steak is well done.
Yeah, it's like you've stumbled across a campfire that may or may not have been out for like 5 years, and there's steak on it that's somehow still warm, and you're like, oh, I'll try that. Mm-hmm. Oh, there are sherry flavors before the peat comes in.
They're there, but they're kind of flat.
I think flat is a great way. You know, like when we talk about when you get those ones that are like carnation milk or whatever, it's like a flat sweetness.
Yeah.
I think it's similar to that. I think this is suffering from its 40%.
It might be. Could do with a bit of a boost.
Needs a bit of spice to it, doesn't it?
Yeah. I'm not hating it, but I definitely wouldn't put it. I wouldn't
it's not
rate
the best
it
peated whiskey
as high as the Lockley.
No.
And
no.
I wouldn't.
It's not like a big peat or like an Ardbeg or whatever. Yeah, but it's quite. I mean, it's doing what it says it does. It's delivering peat flavors.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's what it's designed to do. So I can't criticize it as a bad whiskey because it's literally on the label.
There is, on like the third sip, there is an appliness to it. Almost so like, like...
As soon as you swallow it, the peat comes through.
Like American barbecue. So not like what we would consider barbecue, which is just char grilling something.
Yeah.
Like flame grilled. Broiling, I think they call it in America. I might be wrong. Broiling might be...
Broiling, I thought, was like when you boiled something on a grill.
No, broiling's like oven grilled, I think. But yeah, anyway.
All right. Yeah, because broiler chicken, is in the... Yeah. All right. Anyway.
When we talk about barbecue in the UK or in Australia, we mean cooked over fire.
Yeah.
In America, they mean slow cooked over smoky fire or coals or slow
like pulled pork or whatever.
Yeah, and not in all of America again either, but in Louisiana.
Did you ever go to Spitfire in Bristol, by the way?
I don't think I did. No.
They do some amazing brisket. Maybe I should take you there next time you visit.
I'm up for a tour de force of food next time I come down. But yeah,
you have to go through to Bristol, but yeah, it's good.
I mean, I can do Bristol and we can do the desserts in Newport. But yeah, it's not as if it's hard to take a train for 45 minutes or whatever it is, but
it's like half an hour.
Yeah. With this, I feel like it has, like if when you barbecue slow roast a pig, and they put an apple in its mouth. Yeah, but they put an apple in its mouth, and you get that cooked apple, but it's like meaty, not like sugary.
Yeah.
That's the appliness that's in this.
I'm going to put suckling pig apple in your review.
Okay.
Literally, like, I gained like 18 wrinkles on my forehead from this one. It's like...
I'm going to have to clean my glass out.
My face is collapsing into a singularity. Like Charlie Kirk, his face.
You
know what that is?
No.
Some right-wing influencer whose face is like 17 times too small for his head.
I think I know who you're talking about. It looks like he's been photoshopped.
Yeah, Turning Point USA guy posted a load of nonsense, pro-Trump, whatever. Yeah, but
in a really good way.
Yeah, just stupendously bad looking, and that's coming from an engineer. I kind of feel like that. I can feel my face shrinking from the peat.
Yeah, his face looks like they've taken it and photoshopped his face like 2/3 the size of his actual face.
Yeah, his face is too small for his head, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's all right to pick on someone like that because he's a dick.
He's also put himself in the public's, you know.
I feel like it's always okay to pick on
He
Nazis.
he also probably criticizes other people for how they look like, you know.
Oh yeah, absolutely, 100%.
The wrong color or gender or gender identity.
Yeah. They're very fragile. But you're always allowed to pick on Nazis. That's like free ticket to heaven, isn't it?
Yeah, we got that one. We fought hard for that as a nation back in the 40s.
Yeah, they were bad guys at the start, and they're still now.
Yeah. If you need an easy bad guy for a video game, sorted.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Did you want to score that one?
I'm going to go and give it a 3.
I'm going straight in at a 2.
That's fair. Given your...
It's not the worst peated whiskey I've ever had.
Wait, have we settled on 3 being average straight down the middle or 2.5?
3.
A 3 then. That's right. That's exactly what it is for me.
It's one that I have had it, but I hope I never have it again.
Yeah, I am happy to have had it.
Yeah,
because I know what it tastes like, and I've seen it advertised a lot because they push it quite heavily.
Absolutely, I'm happy to have tried it because, like you say, it's been all over the place. And the whole point of this experience is, well, 1 is to get pissed, but 2 is to try new whiskies.
Yeah.
And people, if we ever do become a known whiskey influence in the whiskey world, I don't want people to be able to say you don't like peated whiskey because you haven't tried it. So I will try any whiskey.
Just might not like it because I know.
Just might like it, yeah. And this, like I say, on the as they say on the tin, it tells you what it's going to deliver, and I don't like the stuff that it says it's going to deliver, and I didn't like the whiskey because of that. So I mean, yeah. That's just logic, isn't it?
Yeah. I'm still clearing my palate before we move into the next one, but
yeah, that's fair. Because we're onto the Dream Dram. Just clear the glass out a bit more. I own like 30 whiskey glasses, and I still just use 1 for this.
What one do you use?
Just an unbranded Glencairn.
I use my Whiskey Stramash one because I used to use my Bristol Whiskey Underground one, but it got cracked.
I will have to see if there's one going anytime soon. I'll get you another one.
Well, if there's a Bristol Whiskey Underground going anytime soon, I'll just come along.
Well, exactly. But I won't do it like I did last time. I'm too old for that.
I think we do need to, next time we actually attend a proper whiskey festival, maybe actually
limit ourselves.
Like literally, physically, like actually write down what we're doing.
Yeah.
Have
plan it out.
Have a rule of how many we're allowed to drink per 15 minutes.
Yeah, plan it out. Be sensible. Actually have some food beforehand.
Which allows us to, if we're at a table and they want to give us their entire range, have that, but then be like, right, well, we've had 5, so we're going to go and
have a sit down
rather than go straight to the next table.
Yeah, I agreed. But we are overdue a whiskey festival.
Yeah.
So 2024.
Yeah.
There's a Speyside one.
Well, there is that. That's a very close to.
A big event.
Yeah.
A big expensive event.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I get it. Maybe 2025 for that one. Maybe a smaller one, 2024. Anyway, Dream Dram. You ready?
I am.
So this is the Glenrothes 18-year-old. And the card says, for our Dream Dram this month, we are sticking to a less secret and more traditional approach. Take a well-known and high-quality brand and buy a nice expensive bottle of their more well-aged liquid. Glenrothes' 18-year-old release uses a very high proportion of first fill sherry casks for maturation, so expect a sumptuous and rich sipping experience. Cheers. I feel like this one's been quite a sherry-dominated box.
It has been quite sherry, yeah.
I'm not complaining. I mean, I like a sherry whiskey, but just quite a few.
I suppose it's like outside of what you'd probably call like, I was going to say the vanilla finish, but it's actually the vanilla finish. The bourbon cask.
Yeah.
Sherry cask is the next most frequently made. So.
Yeah, it's the premium one, isn't it?
Yeah.
So on the nose, you should get orange oil, vanilla pods, your favourite, pear, and almonds.
I do get.
There's definitely an orange zest to that.
Yeah. And I can see what they mean
Vanilla?
by pear.
Yeah. Okay. Citrus zest. Pear and vanilla on the nose. God, my typing just falls off. Okay, in you go. The palate, complex and well-rounded. That's like me. Sweet, ginger, rosewater, pears, and vanilla. The finish, sweet, spicy, and slightly peppery. So rosewater is like Turkish delight, isn't it?
A little bit, yeah. That's actually really nice. It's got like a salty, leathery sweetness.
That's the sweetest one we've had, but it's like, in terms of mouthfeel, it's like sweet at both sides of my mouth, but not in the middle.
It's like a savoury sweetness in a weird way.
Yeah. Oh, that's still going in the finish.
Yeah. It's like a cake, but it's like I don't know if this is a Scottish thing, but have you ever had an iced bun? So it's basically just a finger bun, right?
Yeah.
So like sweet loaf, still bread, but a sweeter bread than you would normally get, and then they just ice the finger.
Yeah. I know what you mean.
Yeah. So it's not like a cake. It is bread.
Yeah. But like with
but
like it's not icing. It is, isn't it? It's like frosting on top.
Yeah.
You used to get them at school.
Yeah. It's like so it's like it's not like it's what's the really American burger bun bread?
Brioche.
Yeah, it's not. I say American, but I mean, in France, a brioche is a dessert. In America,
yeah, because they made brioche into like the fancy burger buns, and they're just not good for a burger bun.
You can get it to work, but you need to use like
they don't hold any weight though. Brioche,
no,
that's the problem.
No,
they
no.
collapse.
It depends what you're having in it. You need to have for a brioche to work. You really want to be using a chutney, a sweet chutney.
Yeah.
Like to make it work as a burger bun.
But if you're going for like a burger bun, in my opinion, the best thing is just like a solid bap.
A solid bap, a crisp. I could take a crispy roll, but I'm not.
A crispy roll, yeah. I could
sesame roll is good.
Not so fussed about it, sesame or not, but fine. But like a solid, like floured bap.
I'm not a big fan of floured baps, only because I have like that thing where floury textures cause my hair to stand on end. It's a similar thing to that tryptophobia where holes make people's
yeah.
The feel of flour or sand. Sand is coarse enough that it's not bad. Sugar is coarse
a weird
enough
texture
because
it's like
floury.
It's congealed but dry.
Yeah, it's kind of non-Newtonian.
Yeah.
That texture.
I can kind of get where that would be
literally makes it. It's a weird thing. It's really annoying because like most of the good ways to make chicken involve like coating it in corn flour and that, and doing that makes
then frying it up.
Yeah, but doing that makes my actual I get like bad goosebumps.
Oh wow, fair enough.
Yeah.
I think you remember me telling you about that because I think I was telling you about a recipe I did where I did that.
Yeah.
And I think you said, "Oh, you couldn't do that because."
I'm getting better at just biting the bullet and doing it, but like it is like.
It's not what you want from your food, though, is it? To have to bite the bullet.
No, but I want to eat the food afterwards. It's just
yeah. But anyway, to get back to brioche, yeah, I see where you're coming from.
It's not quite as sweet as a brioche, but it's a sweet bread. So
I'm with
more
you.
like an American white bread.
Yeah, everything's sweet in America. Yeah. Did you want to score this one?
I quite like that. I think that's a 4.5.
I've gone 4.5. Yeah. I think that is an easy 4.5. That's very nice. I feel like Glenrothes are known for being like orangey, citrusy flavors. Because they're bottle like an orangey shape.
It's a more stout bottle, I think, like a shorter bottle.
I thought it was like a round bottle.
A little bit, I think. It sort of has
yeah,
a
okay.
wee
Yeah. It's like a
bezel.
stout, rounded, but yeah, not perfect. If you wanted a bottle of Glenrothes 18, that is £160, by the way.
There are some available slightly cheaper than that, but yeah, it's not. You can get it for about 110. But if you wanted it from a reliable retailer, yeah, it's pushing 160. I say that as if, to be fair, one of them is the Waitrose seller at 120.
I've never heard of them.
Probably
Basically
a reliable
Alibaba, then.
retailer, yeah.
So that's another excellent box.
Got to love the Waitrose website.
Oh yeah.
You can buy a bottle at 120, or you can just add 6 to your basket.
It's like if you go to Amazon, it's like you buy a bottle and it's like subscribe and save. It's like I'm pretty sure if I subscribed to whiskey bottles, that's like immediately going to just send people around to my door to make sure I'm okay.
Yeah. If you were on, what we're talking here? So if you had a dram a night, you'd be close to a bottle a month. But it's a choice to pick just one whiskey and have it delivered every month.
Yeah, just that's it. I know I'm going to drink this in a month, so yeah.
I'm guessing the Waitrose seller thing is that some people actually might be using it for their business.
Have friends, yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm buying 6 bottles of an 18-year-old whiskey. It's got to be.
Yeah, but the Waitrose people, aren't they?
No discount either. Just
but the Waitrose people, that's what they're like.
Got to have the backups to restock the bar.
Yeah, it's like, actually, do you like this one? Do you? I've got a couple of bottles lying around. Take one.
Yeah,
that's what they're like. Bastards.
120 quid bottle of whiskey, just as a that's
not even like starting on what they're like.
Yeah,
just need to befriend a few rich people. Anyway,
be bad. Becoming rich people would be fine.
Yeah, that was another Dram Team box, podcast 48, as yet unnamed, but you will see what the name is when it is uploaded in 2027.
We're just about to go and decide that, so hopefully the cultural reference will still be relevant.
If there's internet still by then, hopefully you enjoyed this, and we will see you next time.
Yep. Cheerio.
See you later.
Bye.